Basketball fans, welcome back. At some point, I feel like the NBA has become somewhat of a soap opera, and I've seen a post from Bleacher Report just talking about the major storylines into the NBA. So we have like the big storylines. We have Dim to the Bucks. How is it gonna pan out? Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns. We have Chris Paul to the Warriors. We have Drew Holiday to the Celtics. You have Kristaps Porzingis also in the Celtics, and you're seeing all these players, all these teams retooling, and you're just seeing a situation where a lot of people are just invested in different teams and they're just looking at different situations so that they can see what is going to come out of that. And one thing I saw true was I feel like through the years, even in recent times, even in the 2010s and even in this early 2020s, the NBA just turned into a soap opera. Mostly it's a lot of marketing that is going into the NBA, just talking about the teams, having funds being invested in teams. How is this player going to play in this situation? How is this player going to play in this team? How is this group of guys going to pan out in the regular season? Who's going to go? Are the Denver Nuggets going to go back to back? So you're seeing a lot of storylines going in, and I feel like it takes away from the game. And here's why. Just a few months ago, like about 2 3 months ago, we had the FIBA World Cup. So the FIBA World Cup showcased every team across the whole world coming together and just playing international basketball governed by FIBA. So you can see the NBA rules are different from FIBA rules. And we had Team USA play there. We had a couple of African teams that I talked about on this channel just going out there and playing. And I saw a couple of videos made by some very good YouTubers just talking about how Team USA capitulated, and they finished, they didn't even medal, they finished number 4. They got beat by Germany and they got beat by Canada. So we had so much talk about talking heads. NBA mainstream media was on at it. They went in on them. We're having these big name players, LeBron James committing to Team USA. You have Stephen Curry committing to Team USA. We have Joel Embiid committing to Team USA. We have KD even committing to Team USA. Devin Booker, all these big guys, just committing to Team USA for the Olympics. Even despite Team USA losing, they were not the spot to go to compete in the Olympics. So you're seeing a situation where the NBA, even when it comes to even the title of this video, I feel like the NBA has become more of a soap opera now. There's so many storylines, there's so many narratives being pushed by mainstream media, of course just to keep the fans invested. But I feel like it takes away from the game, because if you look at the FIBA World Cup, there was not much storyline going into it. Even if you look at the roster, there were guys that they were not like that experienced as playing in the NBA. The defensive player of the year in Jaren Jackson Jr., we had Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Halliburton, you had Anthony Edwards leading the charge. So these are not the guys that have done so much in the NBA. They're not like they're not like the veterans that we're used to seeing like dominate each year, like Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Kyrie. We didn't have those big names playing there. So we had like a group of players just put together and just playing the FIBA World Cup, which is rightfully so, because there's no need to send like the whole roster in there. As I thought in the run up to it. But when things got thickened, when things got thick, especially in the contest, you could see Team USA are really struggling, especially with doing simple box outs. You're seeing a teams that like the other teams that I saw in the competition, like Germany had like one NBA player, couple of EuroLeague players that just know what they're doing in these contests, like outclassing Team USA. And Team USA, for the team that forms Team USA, majority of them, not even majority, all of them play in the NBA, and the NBA is seen as the biggest basketball league in the world, and they're being outclassed by players that can't even get an NBA contract. If you calculate all the salaries of the players who played in the World Cup, you even see they go even to $1 billion. But if you look at like the players that are playing in the other nations, like Serbia and Montenegro. You can see Montenegro there. You can see Jonas Valanciunas play there. You can see Dennis Schroeder. You can see all these other guys that play in the NBA, but they play in their respective countries. They're actually showing out and playing pretty well, given the system that they had. And the only teams that only had like one NBA player, two NBA players. Team USA had all the NBA players and still could not get the job done. They lost to Team Canada. Team Canada, like their starting five has like a lot of NBA players in there, but you could see they're just much more determined and they knew the game plan to take down Team USA. And looking at that, I came to the conclusion that the NBA is much more of a soap opera, and they have taken away from basketball. And skill wise in basketball, I can say the NBA is skilled. Don't get me wrong, but they have overcrowded. There's just a influx of the entertainment aspect, and selling tickets being an entertainment thing, storylines. They've invested so much in that, as opposed to like skill, and it comes to like winning games in there. So the NBA, as I've seen through the years, especially the way things were, even in the Michael Jordan era, in the Kobe era, the LeBron era, even in the Stephen Curry era, you're seeing the entertainment aspect of the NBA has always been there, and this is due to the fact that this sport, the NBA, is it has so much marketing going into it. They invested so much in marketing to the point where it's more entertainment, and there's not much basketball or sport. You can see that because you can see the entertainment just for focusing on dunks, highlight plays, all that is just blasted everywhere on social media. You can scroll through like Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter feed. You'll just see like good highlights on the NBA, which is actually not bad because it's entertainment at the end of the day. But with that mentality and facing the whole world and knowing for a fact that there are over like 122 international players playing in the NBA, it's actually quite difficult for the Americans to find a way to win consistently, especially when facing other nations as Team USA, not even as an NBA team, as Team USA. It's actually quite difficult for them to be able to do that because they're focused more on marketing and entertainment as opposed to skill and playing good basketball, winning. And these NBA players, they're just used to the NBA rules that are much more lenient and they keep changing. But FIBA rules are just constant and they're just different. Take the case in 2019 when, not even 2019, 2021. 2019, Team USA didn't do well and they sent like another unit there that really stunk the house. Then we have Team USA in 2021 playing in the Olympics. You could see they lost to Nigeria, which was actually pretty good. But you could see like some NBA stars were complaining about the rules and how the game is being played. They didn't like it and they were voicing their frustrations to the ref, and the refs were hearing none of that. You could see in NBA games the players are the stars and they have a tendency to be able to go and try to negotiate with the referees, given the calls get overturned, all that. So they're not getting like that aspect being taken care of when they're playing in international games. So that's one thing that has led them to this point where they can't even medal in a FIBA World Cup, which just ended recently, and they're just being beaten by players that are not even in max contracts or don't even have like near max contracts. So and the NBA teams that the players came from, like they are in the Team USA, you could see like how contracted and how salary wise they're being taken care of, but it's all entertainment and it's been much more of a soap opera. And in the years to come, I honestly feel like internationally players are just getting much more better, and there's a high tendency that Team USA might lose even in the Olympics, even given the fact that they're just going to run that squad. They feel like stars win championships. The same mentality they're bringing the NBA is so different from what FIBA presents. So I honestly feel these players, even if they go there, they're going to struggle. Like the same way like the Redeem Team was put up. Like it was very difficult for like Team USA to find their footing, despite the fact that the NBA produces the best players. They have the best players in the whole world, but they still struggle to win games. So Yeah, I mean, I just said let me just talk about this because this is something that was actually quite shocking. I have so much confidence in the NBA. I love the NBA. Don't get me wrong, I love watching players, dominate. My best player is LeBron James. He's my goat. And also looking at the way the game is just shaping up, I feel like the NBA is just headed to the worst because if they keep focusing on like them storylines, it takes away from playing competitive ball and to be able to compete in the international level. Because if you just compete in the USA, in the NBA, it's only USA, you can win that. But other nations, there's so many nations gunning for that top spot, and if they don't watch that, they might fall off the wagon even despite having the massively rich league in the NBA. So I honestly feel they need to like find a way to make some rule changes to be able to get to that point where they're not intimidated by other countries. The other countries that are really beating them. Germany is not like Germany and Serbia, they're not basketball dominated countries. These are countries that play in the Euro League, and their games are not that, they're not getting like that marketing and exposure like the same way the NBA is. The NBA is a massively rich league, but given the way the determination and the hunger that they have, and the NBA players, the way they play there, you can see the big difference that is there. So the NBA should stop being a soap opera and go back to the drawing board and figure out how to fix things, because if they don't, it's just going to be another situation where in the Olympics they still struggle. They're going to struggle against Serbia, they're going to struggle against Germany, Venezuela, all these other countries, China, if they show up there. So hopefully they're able to like figure that out and change things, because if they don't, it's just going to be it for them. So yeah, I just said let me just talk about this here and just give my thoughts on it, because this is something that I've seen, even if given the new season that has just come upon us. Hopefully they're able to like find a way and just fix things. So yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure to leave your feedback down in the comments on what you think about this. And I'm out. Peace.